Good morning, everyone. We meet again for today's presentation, which is about movie review. I would like to start my presentation by telling you all a quote. We got here from hard work, patience, and humility. Don't think the world owes you anything because the world owes you nothing. Yes, this quote was from the movie Joy 2015. So today our project is about Joy 2015. I'm Yokeswari Chandran and I hope you guys enjoy this presentation. These are the contents of our project today. So, for the summary of the movie, this movie is about the story of a family across four generations. This centered on the girl who becomes the woman who found the business dynasty and become a matriarch in her own right. She faced betrayal, the loss of innocence, and the scars of love. She becomes a true boss of family and enterprise in a world of unforgiving commerce. Allies become adversaries, and adversaries become allies both inside and outside the family. As Joy's inner life and fierce imagination carry her thought the storm she faces. The main cast is Jennifer Lawrence as Joy. So for the next session, I call upon my partner to proceed with the presentation.
Thank you, Yogi. And now I will talk about the core issues highlighted in this film. The first one is lack of practical support. In this movie, Joy lived with her mother, Carrie, who spent her days watching soap operas in bed, and her two children. Her unemployed husband, Tony, and Joy's father, Rudy, share an apartment in the same building. Rudy owns a failing heavy-duty garage that is managed by Peggy, Joy's older half-sister. They have strained a relationship and she continually humiliates Joy in front of her children for her failed marriage. Her family does not support her dream of becoming entrepreneurs because for them it is impossible for Joy to succeed. The only people who encourage Joy to follow her dreams are her maternal grandmother, Mimi, and her best friend, Jackie. She had to overcome family obstacles as well as all of the startup challenge in order to be successful. After all of the financial ups and downs and bankruptcies, Joy's half-sister and her dad's girlfriend, Trudy, filed a lawsuit for control of ownership. The second issue is that people take advantage on Joy. The manufacturer overcharged her as a consequence of material faults and failures, which is not Joy's responsibility but rather the factory itself. Everyone in the company is concerned that they are dealing with unethical people. Joy then contacts the company's owner and warns him that he is overcharging her and exploiting her. She notifies him that the overcharge will not be paid. Her firm choice impressed everyone on the scene. The third issue is Joy's willingness to take risks and try new things. In order to promote their products on television, she meets Neil Walker. Despite his lack of trust, claiming that most people freeze when the camera is on them, Joyce tells him that she used the mops and would be the one to sell it. Even though she freezes and mumbles for several minutes on air, she managed to talk and promote her mop after Jackie encouraged her by contacting the studio and inquiring about the mop, which then she decided to purchase for her family. Following Jackie's call, the phones start ringing and orders start floating in. She managed to sell 50,000 units by the end of the broadcast. Last but not least, Joy is very brave when she decides to confront her enemy. Joy flies to Texas to meet with Garrett, a factory owner who is duplicating her mop patent in an outdated hotel after she studies patent law issues and her case all night. When he entered the room, he threatened Joy, but she did not flinch at all. Joy then calmly exposed the factory owner's dirty tricks and stated that the design she created and the factory design were not the same. Joy was the first to register the identical design in Hong Kong, which implies that the factory owner would lose in court and will be prosecuted with theft and fraud. After hearing all of Joy's detailed remarks, the factory owner was terrified and he apologized and promised to return the $50,000 initial investment plus an extra $50,000 plus interest. Joy then stated that she had no intention of continuing the legal action as long as he agreed to sign the contract that she created, which he did sign at last. Joy then won in the end and the patent rights were returned to her. I will pass to the next member to talk more about the issues happened in the movie.
Thank you, Aina. Now I will continue with the critical review based on the core issues mentioned previously. So first, Joy deserves support and trust for her very high-patient invention presentation because she clearly shows that she knows what she's doing and wants to do her very best for her very first business. As we all know, Joy's father Rudy and his girlfriend Isabella, whom Joy asked to invest in her invention ventures, didn't seem to have given Joy enough trust and gave her a hard time at first, leading to Joy's lack of practical support. Despite skepticism from her father, almost everyone around her does not provide her with adequate support, including her half-blooded sister. It can be seen from this that not trusting someone isn't a bad thing, especially when it comes to something involving a large sum of money. When Joy first presents her invention ideas, it appears that there are many flaws. They were highly skeptical that Joy's invention would ever become a commercial success. On the other hand, it can be seen that giving someone trust and support, even if it is for the first time, is a good thing and motivating for them. Secondly, it was unethical to take advantage of other people's success while Joy was putting her everything she had into her venture to get it where it was. Based on this, we can see that when Joy receives many billing emails from the California factory, which she believes are the result of shared mistakes, it turns out that she has been overcharged as a matter of fact because of the factory's errors and failures. Joy is irritated because she believes it is unfair for her to have paid for the overcharged items when it wasn't her fault at all. In addition to billing charges, Joy continued to receive increasing prices on her product supply from the California factory, even since she had already achieved success in herself. We can derive from this that there was something wrong with the California factory that caused the prices to remain high on occasion. At the end, Joy had gone from overnight sales success to the brink of bankruptcy as a result of unethical behaviors, including broken promises and cruel betrayals from someone she believed and trusted to be a part of her business. Next, starting a business or inventing requires the ability to take risks and discover new things that one has never tried before in order to face any challenges that may arise in the future. For instance, Joy is constantly coming up with half crazy, half practical ideas. But that is Joy who likes to attempt new things. She's even trying to sell her newly invented mop in a Kmart parking lot, showing her desperation clashing with determination, despite the fact that she needs to take risks when the cops arrive. When Joy is given the opportunity to sell the miracle mop on TV for the first time, she doesn't give up, and her confidence eventually persuades Neil to let her replace the expert pitchman instead, allowing us to see this hard-working self-starter come fully and radiantly into her own. As mentioned in one of the core issues, the scene demonstrates Joy's willingness to take risks and try new things. Lastly, having the confidence to deal with competitors is crucial for independence. Like Joy, she still has her fighting and competitive spirit with her, as well as the courage to confront the adversary who caused her to fall and give up her struggling business. With her bravery in confronting Jared about the patent, she points out that this is fraud because the Hong Kong inventor claims he was never informed about the deal Jared made with Joy, so Joy stated that her lawyers were adamant that she filed a lawsuit, and Gerard immediately backtracks and says he will repay the initial investment, which doesn't make Joy happy with the deal until she gets what she wants. In summary, entrepreneurs must raise their heads above and go out there and let it all swing out as Joy did. Even though a slew of bad luck befalls Joy throughout the film, her spirit shines through when she stands up to those who don't believe in her, who don't support her, and who try to deceive her. In Joy, we saw for the first time in living color of the blood, sweat, and tears of entrepreneurship that create a hero and often a tragedy. I think that's all from me. I will invite Paul ZHENG to present the next part. Thank you.
Thank you, Farah. I would like to present about the view of our team on this core issue. First, the core issue of lack of practical support. Lack of practical support is a serious issue to an entrepreneur. We realized that most of Joy family, they were not giving any support to Joy to become an entrepreneur. In our opinions, practical support is very important for an entrepreneur, especially family support, because it is one of the elements that will decide whether the entrepreneur can be successful in their business. And this is because sometimes the entrepreneur, they need emotional assistance from their family. For example, lending a listening ear, encouragement, understanding, patience, and so on. And this is the most basic things that need by an entrepreneur. And next, the issue of the California factory want to pass on their mistake to Joy. Obviously, this is an unethical behavior in a business. So we strongly agree with the way that Joy solved this issue, because Joy has not the responsibility to take over the mistake of the California factory. If Joy made concessions with the California factory, the same issue will happen again in the future, and Joy will continue to bear this kind of unnecessary expenses. Therefore, we agree with the approach that Joy instruct everyone in the workplace to not pay any overcharge for the California factory mistake. And moreover, the other core issue is prepare to take risks and attempt new things. It is an essential thing for a successful entrepreneur. Careful planning and such strategies should be used when they want to attempt new things. For example, Joy, she took a risk of first time promoting a product on the television. However, before she promote her product on TV, she already knows the product like the palm of her hand and who will be her target customer. And last, the core issue is we should be brave to deal with competitors. After we watched the video, we found there are many problems that an entrepreneur might face. For example, business fraud, threats, patent theft, and so on. Therefore, we should be brave like Joy to deal with this kind of competitor. We think the negotiation method that Joy took to deal with her competitor is an effective method to prevent her own patents from being stolen. So we know that as an entrepreneur, they should be brave in fighting for and defending their own business. Nowadays, the other competitors, they will take the opportunity to destroy your business or steal your patents when you are not strong enough or brave to deal with them. Therefore, we suggest all the entrepreneurs must be brave in protecting their own business and maintain their own business ethics. That's all from me, and I will invite Aira and YIFEI to take over the presentations.
Thank you, Pochizen. Now I will share the 3 presentation topics that related to the Joy movie, which are intellectual properties, business ethics, and marketing opportunities. Intellectual property refers to invention, literacy, and artistic works, design, symbols, names, and pictures that utilize in business. There are many types of intellectual property, which include copyright, trademark, patent, industrial design, geographical indications, and trade secret. In the Joy movie, the lesson learned is about patent. A patent can be defined as an exclusive right awarded for an invention, which is product or technique that introduce a novel methods of accomplishing something. Joy Mangano intended to patent her novel type of mop, but depended on family members to recommend a patent lawyer who didn't have the proper experience or knowledge in intellectual properties, resulting in Joy paying a non-existent royalty to prevent possible litigations. This issue was prolonged until Joy's paternal half-sister renegotiated the license deal without Joy's knowledge, causing the mob's true expenses to exceed its selling price. Peggy's Fair the manufacturer's high overcharge without Joy's approval, putting Joy's novice business at risk. The company refused to return the money and instead tries to claim Joy's mob design as their own. Because of that, Joy's business was bankrupt until one day Joyce read stacks of legal documents to figure out how she was scammed, and after gaining new knowledge about this issue, she calls Hong Kong only to discover that no similar product exists there, which becomes the story turning point. She then meets Derek Marham, which is the director of the con companies, and demands that he repay the overcharge, pay damages, and surrender any claims to her inventions or face a criminal charge. From this movie, we may learn how vital intellectual property is now more than ever. Intellectual properties protect our inventions from copycats and help us avoid infringing on others people's patents. By separating our firm from others, intellectual property can also help us boost competitive advantages. Furthermore, it is critical for someone who wants to profit from a novel innovations to have the necessary legal and intellectual property competence, either through self-education or outsourcing to an intellectual property specialist. Alright, the second topic that related to this movie is business ethics. Business ethics is a set of ethical principles, values, and codes of conduct that company follows in order to operate in a fair, lawful, and ethical environment. In the Joy movie, the most supplier unethical behavior can be noticed. First, in the movie, the most supplier unreasonably asks Joy to take responsibility for his factory's mistakes and failure. This responsibility should be borne by the most supplier himself, but he unreasonably asks Joy to bear the cost, which is a violation of the customer's interest and unethical behavior for the customers. Secondly, in the movie, we can also see that the Mo supplier wants to make his own magic mop by stealing Joy's patents. At the same time, they raised the price of material. They wanted to produce magic mops by themselves and then use their price advantage to suppress Joy's legitimate interests. This is a very unethical business practice. Therefore, unethical conduct in business should be curbed. Although an enterprise may gain a certain amount of benefits in a short period of time through unethical business conduct, it is extremely damaging to the image and reputation of the enterprise and the company, which may cause the enterprise to lose its loyal customers and also lose potential customers. That's all from me. I invite YIFEI to continue the third related topic. Thank you.
I will continue to introduce the third topic in the movie, and it's the marketing opportunities presented by the media transformation. And because of the development of technology, the breadth of many social media and the communication tools has also brings new opportunities for marketing. And compared with the traditional marketing model, the new media marketing model is more convenient, and the traditional marketing model is inefficient. At the same time, this model cannot effectively affect more customers. And in the movie, the Joy started out with some traditional marketing models, but it didn't work. But then she received thousands of orders through the TV shopping. And in the movie, the TV shopping is a kind of new marketing model, and TV shopping is very effective marketing model, and where customers can see the functions of products directly and conveniently. And the TV shopping is also effective in more customers, and that's why the Joy can be successful through the TV shopping in the movie. And that's all for my part. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will proceed with our next and last agenda for today, which on the conclusion on what lesson that our team has got from this movie. Joy Magano always loved to invent new things. Her passion was driven by her maternal grandmother Mimi. Mimi always encouraged and believed in Joy that one day Joy would succeed and turn her inventions into a real one that can benefit others. From this story, despite its flaw, viewers are still able to get into its moral of the story and some key takeaways that viewers can learn and make use in their life or pass on to their next generation or children. First and foremost, the Joy movie teaches us to always believe in yourself. It tells us to always have faith in our capability, like Joy herself. Despite Joy's first real invention, a dog collar with reflective tape, flopped during her school days when it was patented by another company. However, she didn't give up and was driven away with the despair she had. Joy continues life and puts trust in herself that she would succeed with another invention. From this scenario, we learn that if something we do doesn't go as we plan, we should think positively and believe that another opportunity ahead is waiting for us. It urged us to always set our mind that there will be a day where we will succeed with our own creativity. The ups and downs we have gone through will meet the end and miracles will happen. Hence, entrust yourself with your capability and tell your children that to believe in themselves, that one day they will become successful person that will shine bright, and not to mention that to let yourself believe before greater than your self-doubt. So the next key takeaway from the movie is to trust people who have your back. We all have people who come and go within our life, but hold tight to those who will be loyal to us no matter what. Just like Joy, in the end, she was betrayed. She was betrayed by many people she loved, her ex-husband, her supplier, Gerard, and etc. But she learned who would always have her back. And instead, Neil Walker is always there behind Joy's back, helping her with her winging mop invention to grow that invention bigger, even at the time the invention is going to flop just like her first invention. Hence, it is advisable to plan this thinking to our future children in finding their true friends and backbone. There is one quote from George MacDonald that I want to emphasize here. To be trusted is greater compliment than to be loved. People are different. Some might have honest intention toward us, and some might not. Even our closest people and loved ones could betray us. So beware to those people and always hold tight, trust people that have their back to us. So last but not least is to give full support, be supportive, to give full support towards your children, family members, friends, or any person in your vicinity on their passion or dreams to achieve. Contrary to this movie, Joy's family is not supportive towards her. They prefer to see her as an unemployed, desperate housewife who has no goals in her life before she got the idea of that ringing mop from that one incident in the ship at that moment. Despite the fact that she is the one who takes care of her mother, who is 24/7 stuck at the television, watching soap operas, gives shelter to his father after his failed marriage, and turned a deaf ear to Peggy, Joy's little sister, who constantly badmouth and humiliate Joy in front of her children. However, on the other side, you can show a good side and be a great role model to your children by adopting Mimi, Joy's grandmother, and Jackie, Joy's friend, positive trait, who always give full support towards Joy in achieving her dream. As a parent itself, you are supposed to support and encourage your children in achieving their dreams. Giving them 100% of support can motivate them to grow bigger and help to find their self-esteem as well as to boost their confidence in facing the challenges in their life. So that's marked the end of our presentation in the movie review of Joy movie. So thank you.